Welcome to the East Bank Sports Show, proudly brought to you by the Fanatical Elves, a member of the Fans First Sports Network. Broadcasting live from the vibrant East Bank of the Flats in Cleveland, Ohio. Join us as we delve into the heart of Cleveland sports. It's your hosts, Noah and Matt.
Cleveland, let me talk to you. Welcome back into the East Bank Sports Show. Can you tell I'm excited for SummerSlam this week? Got my belt on, Cleveland 316 Stone Cold shirt. Matt, how we doing, man?
Oh, I'm good. You know, change of scenery. Excited to be back home.
Yeah, I bet you've had a busy couple weeks at work so far this week. So, last week, mind you. So I'm glad you're back home. I'm glad you're relaxing. I'm glad you're back in your element because we got some fun stuff to talk about today. We have some cool topics. You know, we can actually talk the NFL a little bit. The preseason has started. And let's get right into it. Let's go into the named topic of the day. What are your thoughts on the Browns thus far this preseason, Matt? I want you to go ahead and take it from here. Tell me what you're thinking, what you've seen from Greenbrier, with Mary Kate tweeting and everything like that, as the Browns look to go on this revenge tour after losing in the first round of the playoffs. Go ahead, man.
I mean, I think I speak for, you know, all sports fans when I say, first off, I'm just excited football's back. You know, I'm getting new football tweets in my feed, new videos from camps coming out. I just love it. You know, it's always great. It's a great time of year to see those first videos from training camp coming out. So, I mean, number one, I'm just excited that it's back. But, you know, talking specifically about the Browns, I mean, I think the viral video we've had so far of Jameis and Vrabel racing during their warm-ups, I think that's hilarious. And I just, kind of getting a little deeper into that, I love, the vibe and the way this team is, you know, carrying itself into this year. I don't know, I've always kind of been big on the feeling of a team. I don't know, I always just feel a certain way about a team coming into a year, and it tends to follow that. I felt like the Guards were going to have a pretty good year. I really like the team. They're having a pretty good year, you know, and I really like the way this team is carrying its energy into camp. It looks like they're having fun, but it also looks like they know why they're there. They're there for a reason. They know what they need to go do.
So what you're saying is we should all just listen to Matt's gut feeling and start placing sports bets on them. That's what I took out of what you just said. If you have a good feeling about the vibe around the team, that's where we should go in terms of the dollars and the confidence levels, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I don't see why not. My history as a sports bettor is perfectly, 100%. I don't miss. So,
yeah. You were talking about the quarterback room, man. Mike Vrabel and Jameis Winston doing the sprints for the warm-up drill. You know, every clip I've seen from Deshaun Watson, granted, we're not in pads and we're not, we're still very early in this thing. Boy, he's looked damn good, though. It was, I believe, 29 for 30 on the compilation. I think Cam Justice tweeted it out that she put out. I mean, he's throwing good balls. He looks completely healthy compared to, everything that happened with us last year, which makes me go into my second point. Injuries scare me because of last season. You know, both tackles are still out right now. Obviously, we knew Chubb was going to be out, so I'm not worried about that. But, even role players, DeAnthony Bell, then you have Greg Newsome, Tomlinson. There's so many, players that contribute to this team on a week in and week out basis, whether it be as a starter, special teams, rotational player, whatever, they're already starting out on the IR, not the IR. It's the, I forget what it's called right now. And it just makes me really, really nervous because of last season. What about you, Matt?
I mean, yeah, I am kind of nervous, but most of these injury timetables and what, the Browns staff has said is basically in track with where we expected it to be. Obviously we knew Nick Chubb was questionable week 1. It's all but confirmed he won't be playing now. The tackles are a little scary. We were hoping to have him, on the field doing some drills and stuff.
Wait. Because my third point is Nick Chubb is going to play week 1. But I'll let you continue. And I'll elaborate further in a moment. But go ahead.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
Yeah, I'm sipping the
Anyway.
Kool-Aid right now. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's all kind of where we expected. I'm not super worried. I think it's more of a, hey, we're going to start designating all these guys and give them the first week or two off, let them come in, hang out with our medical staff. We're not putting them on the field, and just make sure they're good to go, ready to roll it in shape for once we can start going pads and all that stuff. And I do want to, I want to start this train back up again because it has not died off yet, Noah. He went 29 for 30 in no pads, throwing on air. Cool, great.
Right.
An NFL caliber quarterback can do that.
Right.
Awesome. That's
right.
Cool.
Hey, I'm with you 100%. I know I was the one that mentioned it, but I'm also sipping the Kool-Aid. I'm just happy football is back. And speaking about sipping the Kool-Aid, man, the best in the world, best running back of all time. Not of all time, you know what I'm saying? I think he's going to play week 1. Did you see that video of him squatting casually? 500 pounds, 8 months out of surgery. I'm not saying Nick Chubb's coming back, taking 20 carries, having 100 yards, and playing a full game, but I think there's a chance we get a little bit of running back by committee with him getting 5-10 carries. Let's let him warm into it as opposed to leaving him on the bench. It seems like that's what he wants to do. He's in good spirits. He's at training camp every day. Obviously he's supposed to be, but he's in good spirits. He's on the field. He's with the team. It's not like he's rehabbing somewhere else or rehabbing away from the team. I don't know, man. There's some energy around this Nick Chubb thing that makes me think he's going to do some crazy stuff here where he makes it back by week 1. But why are you shaking your head, Matt?
I mean, no, honestly, so I'll get into why I don't think so in a minute, but I also hate the idea of watching that man run out of the tunnel week 1 in a Browns uniform ready to play. I just feel like that would be a rush job. I don't want to, get him. I don't want him on the field too early. He's a generational back.
If he's cleared, Matt, by the team doctors and he himself thinks he can play, how is it a rush job? The energy in that stadium, the energy with Tom Brady on the mic at 4 p.m. against the Dallas Cowboys when Nick Chubb runs out, last person waving the American flag or the Browns flag or whatever flag they decide to give him, would juice this team up to another level of, we're going to beat the Cowboys by 50, my opinion. But go ahead.
And then he's 4 hard shots to the knee away from another miss. I'm not getting into that. Anyway.
They said the same thing when he came out of college, man. And he had no issues with his knees until the injury, and it was gruesome and scary and freak and not a normal injury that just happens. You know what I mean?
I mean, I agree with you. You're not wrong on that. I don't know. A lot of the stuff we've seen has said, week 1 is questionable. And if it's going to be questionable, I'd rather not take the risk. I mean, obviously, if he's fully medically cleared and everything, yeah, but I don't see him being cleared by then. And then the point I've been, kind of delaying getting to for here is I think it was 1 or 2 days ago, and I don't have the exact quote down here, but in like a press conference with Stefanski, he said yeah, we're not rushing it. We're going to take our time. I don't even have a timetable on it yet. We're just kind of letting it play its course. Which in my mind is football talk for, we'll probably start the year with him on the IR. He'll miss weeks 1 through 4 and then he'll be back.
That's not always true with this team though, because they always keep their cards this close to their face. You know what I mean? He's always been like that. We didn't even know about the Greg Newsome injury until they had to put the PUP list out. To me, man, I just think they're keeping their cards close. They don't want teams to know when they're going to have to go up against a guy the caliber of Nick Chubb again. And I don't know. I just have this weird gut feeling. I was talking about it on the Fanatical Elves show a week or 2 ago with John and Lou and Jarrell and Sam. Shout out all those guys. Make sure you check out their content as well. A lot of great content here on the Fanatical Elves. But we all had this weird gut feeling, and it wasn't, some Homer optimism of just seeing him squat that weight. this soon after surgery with no brace, no wrap, nothing, squatting, what is a PR for me and you, a lifetime PR of like 475 or 575 pounds or whatever the hell he was squatting. It just gives me this weird feeling, man, that he's gonna do the thing. You know what I mean? He's gonna come back. But that's just me. Matt, what other outtakes do you have coming from Greenbrier with the Browns being down in West Virginia right now?
The last thing I have is actually a little bit of a complaint. I feel like I was kind of, spitting in the wind when I was complaining about this one. I didn't think it was going to change, but in the same press conference I just, referenced a little bit ago there with Stefanski, we got the confirmation that Stefanski will be continuing as play caller of the Cleveland Browns. And if you've been watching this podcast for a while, you know I am the biggest Kevin Stefanski play calling hater. I can't stand the dude as a play caller. I think he sucks. I was really hoping Vrabel was going to come in, get a full offseason, and maybe take it over. I knew it was a long shot, but I am kind of upset about it. I don't want to complain of too much, though. Football's back.
That was all way too spicy for me. We're going to be on some completely different sides today, man. Kevin Stefanski in 4 years as a head coach has been the coach of the year twice. His main job on this team is to be the offensive play caller. Now, does he make decisions that we don't love all the time? 100%. With that being said, you don't just get the coach of the year 2 times. That just doesn't happen out of thin air. You know what I mean, Matt? To me, I know that there's some gripes about his play calling. He gets a little too fancy sometimes, what have you. But Stefanski, to me, I don't think there's a better option. I mean, I also could 100% see that Stefanski takes it for now. Dorsey then moves in and takes it a little bit later as he continues to learn the offense. I'm impartial either way. I get why you have him call the plays. That's what he was, known for in terms of, when he was in Minnesota and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't know. I like it when a head coach is a CEO and they do, they delegate some of the so I get what you're saying, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not up in arms about it like you seem to be, and saying that you think Vrabel was ever going to get the play calling. He's a consultant, my friend. He's not even close to being the offensive coordinator of this team. So I'm going to let that rest. Matt, let's go into commercial break. When we get back, we're going to talk some guards because we have the trade deadline ending tomorrow, I believe 6 p.m. And then let's talk Cavs, because I saw an interesting tweet about a potential trade coming up, and I would really, really like to talk about it. We'll be right back with the East Bank Sports Show. Let me talk to you, Cleveland. Let me talk to you. And we're back with the East Bank Sports Show, here with my boy Matt. Make sure you do us the big favor of hitting like, comment, subscribing on our YouTube. Make sure you follow and comment on the Fanatical Elves YouTube channels as well. Helps us grow this entire brand we got going on here, especially with the East Bank Sports Show. Make sure you check us out on TikTok and Instagram. We have an account both there. You get to see clips from the show. Sometimes we post some other stuff, but, I always would post a parlay during NFL season, so I'm really excited to get back into that because none of you guys want to see my sports bets for the MLB right now. It's like a shot in the dark and then some. But that being said, Matt, Guardians won the series against the Phillies. They're up right now as we speak against Detroit. With the trade deadline 24 hours away, basically. We'll just leave it at 24 hours away. It's 7:15. We're a little less than 24 hours. What do we need to do? What do we need to see? This team has been very up and down, and then they go beat the best team in baseball record-wise right now in a series. What are you thinking, Matt?
It's the foundation is there for the run, and I'm starting to get really excited. Like I've thought for the last 2 weeks, we're going to get to the All-Star break. We went through that little, cold streak right before the break. It was rough getting there. and we come out of the break and we take the series against the Phillies.
Right.
All that's going to be is, that little snowball of momentum at the top of the hill. As long as we can keep that moving, we're in for a really hot second half, I hope. I mean, I think I've talked about it before. In the first half of the year, we dominated at home. Most of our games are at home the second half of the year. And then, talking about the deadline, the day of the deadline in the MLB is always an absolutely ridiculously wild day. You can check your phone.
The day before right now has been wild as well. The amount of trades and stuff that's been going down, rumors, all of that. It's been wild day before. I thought today was the day when I woke up because of all this stuff that was going on Sunday night into Monday. I digress. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Matt. Go ahead.
I don't see a way we don't make a move. Like, there's no way, especially with how active it seems like every team in the MLB is this year. Whether it be a buyer or a seller, everybody is doing something. And with the amount of prospects that we've, called up and sent back down that have shown the potential they have, and it's been very solid, there's no way we're not on the phone with teams. And Cleveland's always kind of been the patient team. We'll wait till 5:30. And then we're going to call up the one team that didn't trade the guy they're willing to and be like, hey, it's now or never. Here's 2 bums for your guy.
2 bums. That's great. I agree. I think all of Cleveland and every Cleveland baseball fan agrees that we need to be making some trades. We need starting pitching help. We maybe need another bat, what have you. There's something that makes me nervous, though, and I'm going to pull this tweet up, and I know he played yesterday. But we called up our number 10 prospect, a pitcher, and he pitched. He let up 3 runs. He didn't look fantastic yesterday. I'm going to pull up his stats as well. Joey Cantillo. How do you say his last name, Matt? Help me out.
I believe it's Cantillo.
Cantillo. In 2024, his minor league stats, he was posting a 4 ERA, 1 win on 2 losses, 30 innings pitched. His career, he was 25 for 18, 3 ERA, 392 innings pitched. So, the talent's there. You're not the number 10 prospect in a system by a stroke of luck. It just makes me nervous because he goes out there and he has his first game and his ERA was 8.1 and he pitched 3 innings and he only threw 3 strikeouts. It just makes me nervous, that we called him up too early and we're hoping he was our fix for this whole pitching situation so we didn't have to trade anybody. And 2, I'm afraid that they're not going to trade for anybody because they have faith that, we could just call up this prospect and he'll be the the cure to all our problems in the starting pitching rotation. It makes me really nervous. What do you think about that, Matt?
I think we were definitely hopeful he'd go out and, give us 7 innings of 2-hit baseball. But I don't think, all our chips were in the bag on him. I think that definitely was a move that was made in relation to the trade deadline, if that makes sense. Like, I think we only did that when we did because we wanted to know what he was going to at least get, 1 game out there to kind of get a feel for him in the show before the deadline. Obviously, he didn't have a phenomenal day. He didn't really have a good day at all. So I think that, still kept our mindset, or at least should have kept our mindset in we need to go get someone. Maybe he finishes out the year in our rotation. If we trade for somebody, almost definitely not. He'll go back down, get another year to develop. Like you said, he's the number 10 prospect. He's clearly got the potential and the talent. But like you kind of brought up there, I think it was way too soon, and it was more of a shot in the dark to have to avoid shipping out some young guys.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just nervous because of this front office being very cheap. And, we have played some great baseball. We've made it to the World Series, just basically relying and sticking to our guns. I don't know, man. I really hope we see a move sooner rather than later. I know everybody on social media is begging to see a move from this Cleveland front office. I am myself, Matt. I know you are. At this point, it's time to go. This morning, though, you told me when I was sending in the topics and we were talking about how the show was going to be structured, you told me that you thought they weren't going to make a move. Was that more so a joke, or are you at a change of heart? What are you at now?
Honestly, that was more so like when I sent that, I was thinking in like the context of that meme of like the blob, poking the other blob on the ground. Come on, do something
Do
type meme.
something, yeah.
Like that's kind of what I was thinking is like, man, like every other team is, it seems like firing off an 8-player trade that I saw go through earlier today, or, every other team is getting involved somewhere, and we're just sitting here watching the fireworks go by. Oh, hey, look at that trade. Oh, hey, look at that one. I'd like to see us get in one here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Same thing, and honestly, a good transition to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers have done absolutely nothing other than make a selection in the draft ever since they extended Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. They've done nothing in terms of trying to retool the team, make it better, worse, whatever. So this tweet came out today, and this article about a sign and trade potential for Isaac Okoro. So I'm going to show it. The Cavs and the Nets have talked about a potential sign and trade featuring Isaac Okoro for Dorian Finney-Smith. Cleveland also expressed interest in Cam Johnson. Matt, I'm going to go in here for a quick second. We don't have to touch on this too long, but Dorian Finney-Smith is making $14 million a year, is averaging 8.5 points, 4.7 rebounds, 1.6 assists. He is a bigger forward. That's kind of the appeal here. I just don't think he's a better player than Isaac Okoro, and Isaac Okoro is drastically younger. Dorian Finney-Smith is like 34. Now, Cam Johnson, I don't mind. I think he'd be a good fit. We've talked about him a couple times on the show already. So if it was for both of them for Isaac Okoro, I'm all the way in. But Matt, I know you did some background research. You kind of looked into this. What did you think about the potential for this straight up swap?
If it was kind of what you were hitting on there, a 1-for-1, no way. We have to be getting something extra back out of that. Whether it be, ideally, like you were just saying, if we could get both Cam and Finney, it would be ideal. I would like that. I don't think that would be a horrible move. But a straight up swap would just be horrible. I kind of agree with you on that it would just be a downgrade and hurting our average age of roster. Like it doesn't make a lot of sense, and I don't think I'd be super happy with it personally.
Yeah, no, me either. I mean, I was looking at the stats. Okoro has more points. The secondary stats, rebounds and assists, they are both about 2. Finney-Smith has more rebounds. Again, plays for like a power forward, as Okoro is more of a 2-guard, 3-forward type of player. I just really, really, really hope they don't do this straight up, because I'm going to be pissed if that is the only move that we make in this whole offseason, because, people were talking about trading members of the core 4 and moving forward with, some other people. It just, to me, I'd rather just keep it at that point if this is the only move we can make in free agency. Matt, anything else Cavs you want to touch on before we go into final thoughts and takes?
I don't think so. It's kind of been a quiet run in the NBA for the last little bit.
Yeah, I know. Well, almost everybody that's worth a damn is over in Paris right now, lighting up the basketball court. It's been fun to watch them. And speaking of Paris, let's go into final thoughts and takes. Matt, what do you got cooking on your brain that we didn't get to touch on today?
I'm sorry for I'm gonna start with this, and Noah's probably getting all tense over there because it's never good when I have to start with the apology. I'm sorry to anybody that I'm going to offend by this, and if we lose a viewer over it, I'm sorry. Breaking is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of and should not be an Olympic sport.
Breaking.
What is breakdancing?
Oh. Why not? Everything should be an Olympic sport. It makes it more fun.
When are we gonna get our invite to the podcasting Olympic competition?
I'm ready to rep my country. I already got the title belt. I'm ready to put it on the line. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go.
It's just so dumb. It made me mad. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. My final thought. I typically come prepared for this one, but I'm gonna cop out because I can't remember the one I came up with at the gym earlier. If I'm being honest, boo me. I'm really excited for SummerSlam. There's a lot of festivities going on downtown here in Cleveland. My mom grew up a wrestling fan. I'm a wrestling fan. I'd call myself a closeted wrestling fan, but I've been really into it since WrestleMania this year. I'm really excited to go and see all the stuff that they got going on downtown for us. Real quick, drinking beer should be an Olympic sport. I'm cutting my wrestling stuff. Scotty G, I am with you 100%. We should have
coach.
Beer pong as an Olympic sport. That is my hot take. No, really excited to see what the city looks like. There's a bunch of cool stuff going on this weekend. The Guardians will be back in town too, so there should be some overlap with some of these wrestling fans coming in. Bunch of conventions, bunch of crazy stuff going on in the wrestling world going on downtown because the second biggest event of the year has landed in the best city in the country. Yeah, I said it. We're getting a little spicy to wrap it up. Matt, anything else you want to say to everyone else before we get out of here?
We'll see the Guards in the World Series this year. Other than that, have a great week.
Have a great week, everybody. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Make sure you follow the Fanatical Elves on X, on YouTube as well. Make sure you follow me and Matt. Our ads are on the screen. I get free content on my Twitter all the time. I respond to everything. Matt doesn't tweet a whole bunch, but he's still there. So you should give him a follow too.
I see it.
So until next time, Cleveland, have a great week. Have a great night. Have a great wherever, whenever, however you're watching this. Let me talk to you.